Vanquished heroes, an appeal for the sufferers of the Audley mining disaster. A bitter wail of anguish rings wild on wintry air. Women and children wring their hands and moan in deep despair. Infirm and aged parents, their e'en welled up with tears, mourn for their sons, once thope and prop of life's declining years. In the dig lake pit at Audley, shut off in deepest gloom, a band of miners lie at rest, their toiling place their tomb. To ravages at cruel flood, they yielded up their lives, leaving their parents desolate, their children and their wives. Picture these weeping women with their helpless little ones. Picture distracted parents calling vainly for their sons. Brothers and sisters shout out names of loved ones down below. Where'er you turn, it's one dark scene of misery and woe. Round mouth at pit they stand in groups, grim spectres of despair, while sobs and sighs and pitying cries like dirges float on there. Then men step forth as volunteers, and great crowd holds its breath, as they prepare to go below and ever bout with death. When rescue party makes descent, hope reigns in many a breast. On mercy's mission fully bent, they mean to do their best. Some 20 souls are brought to top, and crowd sends up a cheer, and sobbing mothers clasp their sons, and wives their husbands dear. Once more down pit they make their way, once more a danger's braved, not once they think about their cells, for lives may yet be saved. And crew at top waits anxiously, till hope gives way to fear, for hours pass on and still no more are brought to surface there. Waist deep in thrice cowed stream below, these brave men labour on. Duty's their sole incentive, for good work may be done. And when they stop exhausted, a fresh band takes their place, and so for 5 long days and nights they fight death face to face. But when 6th day dawns on 'em, their task they've to resign. The flood vanquishes these heroes then, and victory rests with mine. And as they sadly turn away, their cheeks with tears are wet, thinking of the 80 souls that lie entombed beneath their fate. You praise your valiant warriors, but what about these men? Let story of their gallant deeds be told with voice and pen. They're far ahead of those that's earned their fame on field of strife. Their mission weren't a slaughtering foes, but saving human life. Vanquished they were in conflict, much pity be it said. They merited a victory well for th' efforts that they made. In pages of our history some day shall tale be found, how thorny miners fought with death in surges underground. Scoffers at unskilled labour, Lord Mayors are what ye be, pluck still a place in toiler's breast, so is humanity. These men that risk their lives to get their comrades out at pit belong to class at which you throw your insults and coarse wit. Today there's families desolate in Thornley district yon. There's close on 80 corpses stretched, as yet unseen be mon. If you'd atone for wrongs you've done, lessen these poor folks' grief, be planking down and handsomely to fund for their relief. You men that spout philanthropy, you've chance within your reach to set a brief example and to practice what you preach. It isn't platitudes we want, dressed up in language fine, but aid for those whose every hope lies buried deep in mine. Prayers will na feed the bereaved ones, prayers canna call back the dead. There's need for summat more beside when hunger cries for bread. Think of those words of him divine, then show your charity, as ye have done to least of mine, so have ye done to me. To you, me toiling brothers, in vain ask not appeal. Off you've responded nobly, you'll respond this time as well. Open your pockets just once more, as wide as e'er you can. These poor souls munna starve, you know, though breadwinners are gone. If it's but little you can spare, it's noan a fault up well, but what you give part freely with, it makes give sweeter still. We want to see these sufferers secure from every need, so let's make one grand effort, and we're certain to succeed. January 1895.